Hello everyone, bonjour tout le monde. Welcome to EFA132 on this Saturday, August 1st. Let's get down to this, right? Let's do this. Now that I, Jean-Guy Bourguignon, have lost 100 pounds plus, right? I've lost more than 100 pounds. Like I lost it. It's out. And I don't want it back. Like, go. 100 pounds plus is what I've lost. Okay? 110, whatever. What am I doing next? Same lifestyle. And repeat after me. Like a lifetime lifestyle, okay? You want to brand some? Lifetime lifestyle. It's a lifestyle, but for a lifetime. That's what I'm going to follow. It took me 53 years to figure that out, right? What was it, an insulin body? What was autophagy? What was gremlins? All that. It took me 53 years to figure that out. And I mentioned that how I intrinsically envision myself with the life that I am for the next 50 years of my life. What this is to me, it is nothing new. It's older than time itself, and every religion book and every scholars and that kind of stuff. But somehow something happened 100 years ago when I look at a lot of things from the cannabinoid space that I was in. I'll do a whole podcast on that. 100 years ago, people got wiped out. Minds got wiped out, like, right? And then these kind of lifestyle disappeared for whatever reason. But because of the beautiful phone that I'm looking at right now, and smartphone and sharing information, etc., I found the fountain of youth within me that I own, which is the autophagy, and we've talked about this before. It's yours. They can't take it away from you, at least not yet. That autophagy inside you, it's yours, right? You can live 100 years disease-free if you want, right? So let's get to why am I going to follow the same lifestyle, right? So 1 to 2 meals a day, 16 hours fasting minimum, lifetime, okay? The key is 16 hours. I talked about this before. For the rest of my life, I will ensure that I do a 16-hour fast minimum every day, right? 1 to 2 meals a day. I tell people try not to eat more than 3 eating periods a day, right? If you want to do a 16-8, right? In my previous life, when I started this process, it was 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. That was my 8-hour eating window. In that window, I would have 3 meals max, right? Calorie windows. And then I would have 16 hours of that. That's what I did. So try not to eat more than 3 times inside of an 8-hour window that works for you. The other one, like I built up the OMAD, 1 meal a day. I naturally progressed to that. I talked about this before. I'm going to continue that lifestyle. Right now, my routine is 6 days a week, OMAD, Monday to Saturday. Today we're Saturday, for example. I didn't eat yet. What time is it? It's probably 3 p.m. Eastern time. I haven't eaten yet, but you know, I have my waters. I always go home, never leave home without this. And I talked about that. I have my sparkling waters with me all the time. I have my black coffee by my side right now, my friend, my amigo. So my OMAD lifestyle is going to be the same thing every day. And will I do 2 MAD, number 2 MADs, called 2 meal a day, right? Will I do that sometimes? Absolutely. Absolutely. I have no problems doing 3 meals a day, right? But on the routine, day-to-day basis, day-to-day operation, day-to-day everything, I don't need to eat. The only time I'll do a 2 meal a day or 3 meal a day is because I'm joining people or I want to do something with family on vacation, etc. I will do that, right? But that's about it. But it's going to be real food tied to the rest of what's going on here. So real food, okay? Repeat after me, real food. And what do I mean by that? No sugars. You know sugars, there's 60 different names. They have it in 80% of all products now, etc., etc. No sugars, no processed, no preservative, no artificial. That's what that means for me. Jean-Guy Bourguignon, you see, real food for me means no sugars, no processed, no preservative, no artificial. Like people tell me, have you tried this flavor and that flavor? I'm not interested, guys, honestly. Real food, real, like I don't need flavor in my water. And if I do, I can add real flavor, like real berries, real, you get it, right? I can do that. So to me, I'm going to continue living a lifestyle of real food. Local, or a garden, right? Try to buy local, right? And I say this because knowledge. The knowledge, and I actually used to work on a farm, like in a prison farm for years, and a lot of this stuff, information, a lot of the stuff that I know of apples, and they say there's apples out there on the market. The average apple on the market is a year in storage before you makes it to the store, and you know that those that potatoes, right? They'll keep them in dark areas and cold storages and kind of. Well, they do the same with apples, and they do the same with a lot of other products, pre-picked products. Like so, when I say real food, and that's why I say local, in gardens, because try to eat real. Like, you know it's real. You're not eating something that looks like a beautiful strawberry, but then you find out truly there's no nutrients in that strawberry because it was grown with gases, etc., etc. Or like there's countries stealing plants from these beautiful countries that we have, or Latin American countries, and then the plants have been stolen. The superfood, and they're grown in other countries in pharmaceutical type settings, and they have half the nutrients. So here you are, you're buying real food, and it's not even real because half the nutrients, because it was what they call it, bios. Anyway, there's a whole new world out there of real food that's not real, and that's why you got to take control in your own hand. Buy local. Go to your farmers. Go to your farmers market. They're everywhere now. They deliver to your door. There's some great companies out there. Bravo on all of you that do that. Great companies that work with co-ops of farmers and that, local farmers, and buy local and deliver to your door, like pre-packed, pre-flash frozen. Great work. Take over. The local people, the local farmers, get together with your co-ops. The internet is there. You can buy local or have your own garden. At our house, I built a nice garden, and my wife and daughters take care of it. The food that I eat, and that's the thing about this lifestyle, with food, all food tastes delicious. Like, I literally tell you, and I could taste processed. My wife bought me this bag the other day, and it was keto. I took one bite. Nah, I don't want it. It's processed. She was, but it says keto. I said it's processed. But you start looking at the ingredients, a couple of ingredients, then you start seeing the other stuff, the other oils and that kind of stuff. That, to me, I could taste the process. I just gonna explain like that. Those that, I'm 14 months into this. Those that understand what I'm saying, you start tasting process, and that's why I buy local and have our own garden, real, as much as you can. Frozen fruits. And the same thing about the apples and the potatoes and that kind of stuff, and pre-picked and engineered foods. Well, the frozen fruits, there's a lot of good companies out there, and even big box store good companies that buy fruits that are flash frozen within the hours. Like, these machines pick these fruits, they're washed and they're frozen and they're packed. And the phytonutrients, the nutrients are all in there. So try to buy your frozen fruits. Or you know it's really like the side of the road guys with the strawberries and the blueberries are local farmers. Keep it up, right? Keep up. I love seeing those things. I do pull over and I do buy them. So my frozen fruit, low carb, high good fats, right? Low carb. Like, there's so many bad carbs out there, but low carb, high good fats. Remember, I eat pre-1900s, right? The real fat. I like, if you look at, I'm 53, I'm 54 now. Look at those my age and older, and if you look behind when you grew up, like, they never opened a bag or a box. It was all like they would buy like a flour by the pound, or they buy their all raw ingredients, and used to make everything. Like, they used to make it, right? So that's how I live. And I tell people I live like pre-1900s. Like, you can go pre-1950s for the processed food, but processed food really started after like the 1900s, right? 1910s, 1920s, 1930s. If you look at the history of processed food, that's when it started, after the 1900s. So I'm trying to eat I am eating pre-1900s, right? With today's knowledge and today's education. And that's what I do. So let's get back to this. Low carb, high good fats. That's how I live. The other one, homemade food. I'm blessed. I have a beautiful wife that knows how to cook, and she cooks extremely well. And I have real food all the time. I have real desserts, like real low carbs, high good fat desserts, no sugars, like no sugars in there. So I'm very fortunate to have that, but try to make your own food, and or restaurant real food, right? That's what I wrote there. And I tell individuals, you save money. I remember, I only eat once a day now. I have a nice meal once a day. And so you save money. And then the other thing too is, when I go out, I look for the restaurants that I know, that are family owned, that are real food. They're not opening boxes and bags in the back of the kitchen and that kind of thing. They buy local, they buy from the suppliers, and they buy real food and that kind of stuff. And there's a lot of the big box restaurants out there, and some of the franchises, it's all pre-made, as you know. It's pre-packaged, full of sauces, full of sugars, full of everything, right? And just injected meats and injected with flavors and blah, blah, blah. So try to buy, that's what I do, right? From the homemade foods, but restaurants are real food. You get, and the money I talked about, you save so much money by eating less, that put your money towards real restaurants and real food. The other one is, konjac shirataki noodles, right? People ask me about that. The shirataki noodles, it's a konjac plant, Konjac, konjac. The Japanese have been eating this plant, I believe, near 2,000 years. It's a high fiber, no calorie plant, basically. And the one I use, and then I'll put out a plug right now, Miracle Noodle, the one that I in Canada, I can order it from in Canada, in the States, you can order it. The reason I went with them is because there's 0 calories, and it prepares well. My wife adds it in the last 5 minutes. It's into rinsing. It's like when your nonna makes pasta compared to this mom's pasta, completely different, because it's who's making the pasta, right? So it's the same thing with who's making the konjac. So my wife, the way she makes it, she rinses it well. Like she said, it's all in the rinsing, because it's stored in bags of water. And then she adds it in her last 5 minutes of her stir fries or soups or sauces, whatever. Delicious, right? The way she prepares them. But the reason why I have that, it's a filler. It fills you up with fibers and that, and you're like you're having a pasta dish or a stir fry dish or whatever. I love this, and so I have my pasta. I still have my pastas on a Sunday. A nice plate of pasta, like the traditional pasta, and they're real good pastas. Restaurants out there, they make their own pasta. There's a few of them, trust me. The ones with I tell you about, the owners are in the kitchen, the owners are serving you, the families are working together. Those restaurants, a lot of them make their own pasta. So that's the kind of pasta that I love and enjoy. Fluid is key, right? This is the lifestyle I'm continuing. Fluid is key. You are not hungry. Trust me on that. You're not hungry for the most part. Those gurgling, it's your body working. It's actually, if you're fasting 16 hours or more, your body's going, thank you. Where it's your cleaning crew, your recycling crew. They're getting rid of the bad cells, the damaged cells, or they're rejuvenating. Imagine your best mechanics out there, right? You're either going to replace the vehicle with new parts, or you're going to rejuvenate the part, right? And you're going to fix it. That's what this is. That autophagy is yours. You got it. So for the most part, it's working in there. You're not hungry. Your fluids, right? Your coffees, your waters, your sparkling waters. I told you I leave the house every day with 2 or 3 of these, depending on the day. And in here, it's just my water, the house water, my apple cider vinegar, my creatine, and my sea salt, right? 3-4 grinds of sea salt, apple cider vinegar, a tablespoon. I free pour, but approximately a tablespoon. And then a creatine, 1 little scoop of creatine. The reason for that, the salt is what you're craving for the most part, right? You're not craving sugars. By removing this, this is my success. I'm telling you, one of the reasons for my success, because the real food is, I went right from the hop, right? Real food, no sugars, no processed, no preservatives, no artificials. That's key to my success. And I left the house every day with fluids. I had 2 or 3 days, and I have a cooler in my truck of spring water, like sparkling spring water. Never leave the house without it, right? If you think you're hungry, drink that. The hunger dissipates. Disappears, actually. So let's keep going here. The fluid is key. Natural supplements, and I said the fluid is key. Routine and prepare. That everything. Go in prepared. My dogs will tell you. What does Poppy say? Go in prepared, right? So the other one, natural supplements and nutraceuticals. Breaking the fast, and I've talked about this. GuyPublicFigure, I have a routine that I follow. I'm going through it right now with you, and my routine is I break my fast with natural supplements and nutraceuticals. I do that half an hour before eating. The intent of breaking the fast was to basically absorb something good, something good, right? You fasted for 16, 24 hours, whatever. Some religions will go like days, like 60 days or whatever. And it's very interesting. They all do it for different reasons. And there's so many different levels of data and information out there that just blows your mind at what it does to you when it cleans you out. But the natural supplements and nutraceuticals, half an hour before, that's the first thing in my body when I look at calories. Because I don't know that much calories there is, but that's the first thing in my body is my natural supplements, because I want my body to absorb that first. From there, exercise, move, and try to do it while you're fasted. Exercise or move. One of the things about this lifestyle, you will naturally move. You will naturally have more endurance. You'll naturally be hungering for stamina. You want to, like your children will tell you, want to go do something? Sure, let's go, right? My 350 self, and I just wanted to sit down and work on my laptop, my headphones on, that kind of stuff. That 350, I'll work on a laptop while I'm jogging. I'm not kidding you. You hunger for stamina. You want endurance. You want it. But do it during your fast. And when I say exercise, like if you're not an exercise person, do body exercise. Like, you know, when you're showering, do your squats, do something, do your stretching, do something, move, right? Move, do your exercise, and the exercises are very important for your muscles and your bones and etc. Aging gracefully, right? If you follow this lifestyle and you do exercise at the same time, or you do some weight resistance, some resistance band, talk to your physiotherapist, talk to your expert. Look at the people that are fit and lean, right? Healthy, fit and lean, right? Ask them questions. You know, do you want to do something right? Talk to someone that's done it right, okay? So exercise, move, and try to do it during your fasting because it's proven, the data, the research, everything is there, how it really boosts the autophagy and etc. Why am I doing this? Longevity without medical issues. You can live 100 years without medical issues. And if you get hit by a car, you get hit by a car. If your heart stops at 56, your heart stops at 56. But if your heart is meant to stop at 90 or meant to stop at 100, meant to stop at 110, you can do it like medical issue free. I'm living proof. I've lost beyond 100 pounds plus. My medical conditions are disappearing and dissipating. And I'm not the only one. Everybody that lives this lifestyle, this type of lifestyle, or certain lifestyle like this, their medical conditions disappear and dissipate. You have a fountain of youth within you, but that fountain of youth also loves to recycle, get, and just knock out the bad cells, and that's what they love to do. All right, so that's why I do the longevity without medical issues. This is why I do this, right? And before I jump on to the final part here, knowingly spending on lesser quality. You, the old me, knowingly spending. Think about that. You know that you're buying things that has lesser quality. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about nutrient-rich foods. You got to put 2,000 calories in your body or 3,000 calories in your body every day, depending on your size and blah, 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 right? So people are buying stuff that have no nutrients, or the nutrients are right here, right? Or you can load your body with that 2,000 calories, for example, with nutrient-rich foods, real food. Remember, no sugars, no processed, no artificial, like real food. But you can choose, and you are. Knowingly, I used to be one of those people, the food chart people, the proteins, the protein bars, the shakes, the processed food, like all that stuff, and I knowingly bought that. And like I say, you knowingly know that a lot of these foods are not even good for you, but they're calories, they're num, right? Think about that. You're knowingly spending money on food that have no nutrients, and they're making you sicker. Let's keep going. So this is, if you key points here, like follow these. You know that Arnold thing, follow me and you will live. Like follow these and you will live longer without medical issues. Start slow, build up naturally. That's what I did, right? I did 16-8, right? I told you about this. 16 hours, no calories, 8 hours. That's my calorie window. In that calorie window, I ate no more than 3 times. That's how I started. So that's good. To me, that was a good process to start, and prepared, right, my waters and my fluids and all that. And I went natural. So start slow, right? Trust me, if you start slow, it'll come. You'll build up. You'll see your second meal will. I just didn't eat because I had to eat. Okay, I have 3 meals a day. No, if I wasn't hungry and if I had some fluids and I didn't want it, I didn't need it no more. And that's what happened. That's why I progressed to 1 meal a day, because I didn't need like traditional, right? It's 12 noon, we gotta eat. It's 8 a.m., gotta have breakfast. It's 5 p.m., gotta have dinner. Hey, where's my snack? In between my lunch and dinner. Where's my other snack? After dinner. Hey, where's my, we're going to bed. Like it was nonstop, right? So none of that. And these people, oh, you got to eat 6 times a day, right? Not interested in that stuff no more. I knowingly now buy a rich nutrient-based food. I started slow, I built up, and I ate naturally, which helped me take me to where I am today at 100 pounds plus loss, right? So that's what I did. So if you want to sum it all up, you can start on a 16-8 intermittent fasting window if you want, or an 18-6, or a 20-4, or 23-1, which is an OMAD for me, for example. Or if you want to do a 14 and like break it down, right? Like break it down. How start somewhere, but the key is 16 hours. From all the research, the commonality, my beautiful dyslexic mind, the way it thinks and puts things together. I looked at commonalities. Remember what I talked about? I looked at those that lost 100 pounds or more and never put it back on. I looked at the 6 groups that lived the longest on earth, the centennials and etc. What did they have in common? I looked at all the real food, the intermittent fasting, the autophagy. So, and that's what I did. So the reason why I'm maintaining the minimum 16-hour window is because I always want to be in autophagy mode, and I don't want to be in an insulin body no more. My entire life I was in an insulin body. I'm no longer an insulin body. I told people I don't measure, I don't count, I don't do nothing. I don't do ketosis and that. I have a ketosis meter at the house, and I'll periodically pick it up once in a while just to see, and I'm in ketosis. I'm naturally in ketosis all the time, but it's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for autophagy. That's what I want. That's why I'm doing the 16 hours, right? And so because that helps me. So the no calories in my fasting window, right? Real food, local. I don't want to be in an insulin body. I just mentioned that. And that's why I don't do flavorings. I don't do flavorings because that triggers insulin reactions. Again, I'm not a doctor. I just did a lot of research. I went deep in the rabbit. You know, you say go deep in the rabbit hole. Man, I opened up in another a whole condominium complex down there. Like the information that's out there in 50, 60, 70 years of research and data. Why is it not out there? That phone that we're looking at, because of that. That phone is why we are smarter today, right? Sharing of valuable information. A lot of junk out there, just like the processed food world, just like the society world, all that junk. Same thing on the internet. There's a lot of junk out there that tells you to try this pill and try this formula and just live like this. It doesn't cost you nothing. Trust me, it works. Real food, local, stay out of your insulin body, right? Get into this body. Exercise, I talked about this. Why? Sleep. Get your 8 hours, right? While you sleep, autophagy works, right? When you disrupt your sleep, you're in and out of your sleep, your lack of sleep, autophagy doesn't work. It's in you to live. Like this system, it's in you to live, like longevity wise. Like you want to live a life without medical issues. You want to be like 90 years old and power walking in the morning and enjoying life. You want to do that, like breathe in the fresh air at 90 instead of sitting in a bed, boop, boop, right? That's a choice. That's all it is. It's right there. Voila. That's all it is. If you have any questions, please subscribe to my channel. I know I'm told all the time, you never say that. I'm asking again. Please subscribe to my channel. It's easy. Just create a username on YouTube. Go to my channel. Click subscribe. There's a little bell that'll pop up. Click on that bell. Go to all. Then you get all my videos and you listen to them and share them, etc. I will continue sharing information. I will continue helping. And there's a lot more very interesting information podcasts I'm going to be doing. And it was further to a conversation that I've had, and I want to put something together. But there's a lot of things that happened 100 years ago that changed a lot of things, and why. But it's interesting. But this here is not new, as old as time itself. And I said this before, and many will say this. Every religion book will talk about fasting. All the savants, it's in the old books, it's in the Old Testament, it's in the old everything, right? It's everywhere. It's not new. The research, the data, the foundations, everybody has a lot of information. Forget the anecdotal, like myself. There's so much data and backing up on the backup of the backup. Some of these data are on thousands of people, and they were done over decades and etc. It's very interesting information out there. Put your ear to the ground, search the right information, and I'm telling you, there's Nobel Peace Prizes that were won on this. Think about that for a second. Nobel Peace Prizes were won. There's different, and I said this before, doctors and backgrounds, and it used to be quacks, right? Now you can't argue the quacks no more. You can't argue the facts. You can't argue the data. And because of this beautiful phone in front of us and sharing information, all these doctors that I thought were quacks now have a voice. And they're backing it with data and facts and knowledge and experience and all that stuff, right? And they're sharing that information, and then people are repeating that information, and people like me start living that life. And that life just, like, I'm not kidding you. Jean-Guy Bourguignon, EFA132.